The video captures a severe industrial incident in a storage or staging area involving the movement of heavy steel coils. The footage shows a large steel coil, which was either being lifted, transported, or stored, becoming unsecured and falling suddenly from its original position. The massive, heavy coil drops and impacts a worker who was positioned nearby in the immediate vicinity. This incident highlights the absolute necessity of enforcing strict exclusion zones around all heavy material handling operations. It emphasizes the critical importance of proper securing, stacking, and rigging procedures to prevent loads from dropping or rolling unexpectedly, thereby mitigating severe crush and impact hazards. The video captures a severe industrial incident involving the mechanical movement of a long, heavy steel beam or pipe. The footage shows workers using a crane or hoisting device to lift and traverse the long steel element. Due to an apparent failure in rigging or an abrupt maneuver, the suspended load loses balance, causing it to swing uncontrollably. The heavy material then collides forcefully with a worker positioned nearby, resulting in the worker being knocked to the ground by the impact. This incident emphasizes the critical need for mandatory pre-lift planning and load stabilization to prevent pendulum swings or rotation. It also highlights the absolute necessity of enforcing strict exclusion zones around the entire swing radius of all suspended loads to protect ground personnel from catastrophic impact hazards. The video captures a severe industrial incident during the mechanical transfer of a long, heavy steel element. The footage shows workers using a crane or hoisting apparatus to lift and move the steel element. The critical failure occurs when a worker attempts to disengage the rigging, but a crane hook or sling remains snagged, leading to an immediate loss of equilibrium and load stabilization. The heavy, suspended material then swings violently and uncontrollably. The swinging load collides forcefully with a worker positioned nearby, resulting in the individual being knocked to the ground by the high impact force. This incident emphasizes the critical need for mandatory pre-lift planning and absolute verification of full rigging disengagement before maneuvering. It also highlights the non-negotiable requirement to enforce strict exclusion zones around the entire path and swing radius of all suspended loads to shield ground personnel from catastrophic impact hazards. The video captures a severe accident involving a worker losing balance and falling from the elevated bed of a large truck or transport vehicle. The footage shows the worker positioned high up on the cargo bed, likely while securing or adjusting the load, when they lose their footing and fall abruptly from the vehicle onto the hard ground below. This incident emphasizes the critical need for mandatory use of personal fall arrest systems, PFAS, whenever working at heights above 4 feet, especially on the unstable surfaces of vehicle platforms. It highlights the importance of proper guardrails, secure tie-off points, and anti-slip surfaces to prevent catastrophic impact injuries resulting from falls during loading or unloading operations. The video captures a severe industrial accident involving a dump truck attempting to unload its cargo. The footage shows a large dump truck raising its bed to discharge a heavy load, likely sand or aggregate. Due to an apparent combination of factors, such as uneven ground, an excessive angle, or the material sticking to one side, the truck loses its lateral stability. The entire vehicle then violently tips over onto its side, causing the load to spill uncontrollably. This incident highlights the critical need for mandatory pre-unloading inspection to ensure the ground is level and firm, and emphasizes the importance of stopping the lifting process immediately if instability is detected to prevent catastrophic equipment rollover. The video captures a severe industrial incident involving a large mobile crane during a lifting operation. The footage shows the crane attempting to lift or maneuver a heavy piece of cargas. Due to an apparent failure in stability, likely an overload, improper outrigger setup, or ground failure, the entire crane violently tips over. The boom and the heavy load crash to the ground, causing catastrophic damage to the equipment. This incident emphasizes the critical need for mandatory pre-lift engineering calculations, lift plans, rigorous ground stability checks, soil bearing pressure, and full extension and proper cribbing of all outriggers to ensure the safe operation of heavy lifting machinery. The video captures a severe industrial incident in a manufacturing or fabrication area involving machinery that processes steel rods or bars. The footage shows a worker operating near the equipment, which appears to be shaping or cutting a metal component. As the worker leans down to make an adjustment or inspection, a piece of long metal stock being worked on is suddenly forcibly ejected or propelled at high speed directly towards the worker's head. The worker is visibly stunned by the impact and immediately recoils. Fortunately, the worker was wearing a safety helmet, which absorbed the force of the projectile, preventing a serious head injury. This incident highlights the critical necessity for mandatory machine guarding to contain all high-velocity projectiles and the essential role of properly worn personal protective equipment, PPE, especially hard hats, to protect personnel from sudden impact hazards. The video captures a severe industrial incident during a lifting operation in a warehouse or factory environment. The footage shows a crane or hoist lifting a heavy object, specifically identified as a large, heavy sack or bag. Due to improper slinging or a failure to secure the load, the suspended material abruptly loses stability, causing it to swing violently and uncontrollably. The swinging, falling load then collides forcefully and immediately with a worker positioned in the operational area, who was standing dangerously close to the movement. This incident highlights the critical need for mandatory, certified load securing procedures, the absolute necessity of ensuring the center of gravity is stabilized before lifting, and the strict requirement to enforce a clear and wide exclusion zone around the entire path of travel and swing radius of all suspended materials to prevent severe personnel impact. The video captures a catastrophic construction incident involving a large lattice boom crane. The footage shows the crane attempting to lift or maneuver an extremely heavy load, which appears to exceed the machine's operational limits. Due to the excessive stress and possible overload, the structural components of the lattice boom fail. The entire long boom buckles and collapses violently to the ground, causing massive damage to the machine and creating an extreme hazard for anyone in the fall zone. This incident underscores the absolute necessity of strict adherence to certified load charts, mandatory pre-lift engineering review, and the importance of operator awareness to immediately halt the operation if the load or machine stability is compromised. The video captures a severe industrial incident involving a crane operation in a construction or industrial yard. The footage shows a crane lifting a large, heavy steel coil. Suddenly, the rigging or sling fails, causing the massive, heavy coil to fall instantly and strike the ground violently. Upon impact, the stored tension in the material is released, causing the coil to unravel with extreme, uncontrolled force across the area. Fortunately, the workers were able to react and retreat safely, avoiding contact with the rapidly spreading steel. The impact creates an extreme crush and debris hazard, releasing significant energy and dust. This incident highlights the critical need for mandatory pre-lift inspection and certification of all rigging gear, and emphasizes the absolute necessity of strictly enforcing clear and secured exclusion zones to protect personnel from catastrophic impact and the hazardous, high-energy unraveling of coiled materials.